Hi, I'm Cindy from Yipcoming.
Hi, Cindy.
What can you tell me about your character, Stone?
Well, Stone is married to Rosemary's character, who, of course, falls in love but has a dalliance with Paul's character. So I'm a guy who works all the time, is never around, and therefore is kind of coming home to a situation that is less than ideal, i.e. his wife kind of having an affair. But he's a guy who wants to make his relationship work, but is just got his focus on other things.
Right. Okay. And how did you embody this character, or where did you find your inspiration from?
Well, it always starts with the script. So the roadmap is always what's written, it's a fun, quirky, lovely script, and I it's not like I had to go on business trips to China to figure this guy out. Really, I was interested in trying to honor the spirit and the tone of what Paul had written, and what I think he pulls off so well, which is having a funny movie that has a lot of heart and is based in reality. So I was mostly concerned about trying to get that right, and trusting that Paul would say, like, hey, you're way out in left field, come back to where we are, and hopefully I did that.
And how was it working with Paul?
He's a lovely guy. He's a smart guy, and of course, I knew him from The Office, and as an actor and as a writer, he's very involved with that show, The Office. So I was a fan, and I was really happy to learn that he's just as generous and funny and kind and smart as the script would lead you to believe, and then and the way that I've seen him perform. He's a great guy, and I feel lucky to know him. I really do.
Awesome. Sounds like a great experience.
Great.
And what do you hope people will take away from this film, and maybe even your character?
Well, I think I'm a cog in this, so I think most people, if they come away from this with anything, I think is a feeling of being charmed, and feeling of realizing that there is joy in your life and in your world, and sometimes that gets suppressed by other things, whether it's a physical back trauma or other ways that we can be paralyzed with our own problems or feelings. And what's so great about this is that Paul's character is able to kind of go through a series of revelations that allows him to be free of that, and opens him up to joy and opens him up to potential and possibilities. And so I think that's really charming, and I think it's really, really a lovely message, and that's totally embodied in the relationship between Paul and Rosemary's character. It's a really, really lovely relationship that they garner, and so I think to just say it again, I think people will be charmed by this.
It almost sounds like you didn't really experience any challenges throughout the process, or is there some challenges that you encountered at all?
No, not really. I mean, it's a boring answer because I know you want all the drama. Where's the drama? There was no drama. No, it's. I think that's fairly typical, which may be surprising to hear. But when you have really competent, caring, kind, thoughtful people who are running the show, figuratively and literally, then it's easy. You just jump in and you kind of go with it. That's not to say that I didn't direct this movie, so all I had to do was show up and say my lines. Paul's experience of making the movie, that's a whole different ball of wax. But I'm sure it was just as easy and as fun for him doing that as it was for me doing the movie. Super excited. I'm really excited about this movie. It's a fantastic film, and I'm really happy to be here. Well, it was, first of all, it was a great honor to be invited to work with Paul. I'm a huge fan of his, and I love the script so much, so to have been asked to be part of it, that was really a wonderful thing. And then being there was a joy. It was very collaborative. Everyone was really, the person who writes and directs and is there kind of running the ship sets the tone. And Paul is such a generous, smart, and funny and kind person that the whole experience of working to put it together was all those things that I described, which were his qualities. So that made it a wonderful experience. Well, I did most of my work with Rosemary DeWitt, so I have such high regard for her. So she falls into the same category. I'm going to repeat myself because she was just like that with Paul, as Paul was, kind, inviting, and it's just the whole thing was easy. And sometimes when that happens, you don't necessarily trust it because this feels too good. But in this case, I think it translates because the movie is lovely and charming and quirky, and all the things that we experienced, I think, translate onto the screen.
And
Well, I love it. I'm from New York, and I've never been in a film that's been in the festival, so I've actually got a couple of films I'm in, so I'm a little lousy with Tribeca these days, but which is fantastic. There's nothing like, getting on the subway and instead of watching something, saying, hey, I'm in that. So it's pretty special for me.